Welcome back, everybody, to your first, second, and finally, your third stimulus check has arrived with the American Rescue Plan. We're going to talk the CARES Act, the Relief Act, executive orders. We talk PPP Round 2, EIDL targeted advance grants, and building wealth strategies and financial education right here on this channel. Today is March the 3rd. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you're having a great evening. It's a bit late here on the East Coast. This is your late night East Coast and your evening West Coast briefing, okay? Anything you missed in the afternoon, we include all that, plus we add new information as it evolves throughout the day. Big updates after that big meeting with President Biden, and the negotiations are on, baby. We're going to talk more details on the targeted checks, stimulus, and some details around PPP. So let's get straight into it. Welcome back, everybody. I am Edward Bilder. To all my loyal subscribers out there, welcome back for another video. And if you are joining us for the first time today, this evening, welcome. Remember to do your part, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, consider becoming a subscriber. We get all your updates on stimulus, PPP, EIDL targeted grants, and we talk building wealth strategies, passive income through royalties, stock tips, and real estate. That's where the real game is, okay? Like I said, this is your late night. Everybody on the East Coast, it's probably about, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock at night. And if you're on the West Coast, it's a late one for you. It's an evening video for you. We're going to add some new information as it evolved throughout the day on stimulus, because all eyes are on the Senate. A lot of big things happening. We got updates on that, man, that narrowed focus. We're going to talk narrowed focus, and we're going to talk some PPP right here. Let's get straight into it. Before we take a full dive into your stimulus update, let us know in the comments if you are joining us in your PPP Draw 1, PPP Draw 2, where you applied, and if you got your funds. And of course, if you are an EIDL targeted advance grant applicant, whether or not you got your invitation to the portal and what month you applied, and if you got $1,000 or any type of advance grant. We're trying to collect some data for all of our viewers here to keep everybody informed. So I thank you for your help. So we're going to talk about some pretty awesome things that are still going to remain the same here inside the stimulus bill. And, you know, let's start out with some reoccurring checks, right? Everybody seems to think that the $1,400 check, the one-time check, is the best thing inside this bill. And I actually think that the child tax credits are much better inside this bill, because starting in July, you could see recurring checks per child as a multiplier. I mean, I made this video here, it explains it into detail. You could be seeing in some cases, if you have 7 kids, I know some people have 7 kids, I know them personally, they could see up to $1,850 each month for 6 months. That is pretty awesome news. This is a ploy, this is a move to lift children out of poverty. President Biden is very passionate about this. And so it is actually going to raise the child tax credits from the $2,000 to $3,000 for ages 6 through 17. And $3,600 for children under 6. And of course, that's a multiplier, right? So you take that and you multiply it by however many children you have in those age ranges, divide it by 12, and that's your monthly recurring check, all right? So check out the videos. It explains it into much more detail. Now, yesterday, Joe Manchin raised a bunch of concerns around the $400 per week in unemployment insurance, demanding that this be reduced to $300 per week in unemployment boost. Well, last night, President Biden met with a group of Dems to talk the negotiations of all this, aka squeeze those dollars, right? Okay, they don't want to overspend, all right, even though this is a $1.9 trillion bill, okay? And if you want to talk both sides, the Republican Party says this is way overspending, okay? 20% of this is only going to the American people, and 80% of it's going to go out to big tech and state and local. So who's really overspending here? Republicans are saying, get the money in the hands of the people and make them go out and start shopping and spending and getting back to, a bit of normal, buying their necessities, etc. That's what big corporations are talking about as well. So the result here is we are not changing the $400 boost to unemployment insurance per week. It will still remain $400 a week, but it is bringing big changes elsewhere. We're going to talk about that now. Well, I guess they reached a compromise, okay, as they were negotiating yesterday. So we're going to talk about some things that are changing, some big changes, okay? The $1,400 stimulus check, that will remain the same. And it will be eligible to single filers starting at $75,000 up to $150,000, everybody below those thresholds. Now, the drop-off limit used to be $100,000 up to $200,000 filing joint, and that will now be reduced to a more targeted $80,000. and $160,000 filing joint. A mere $5,000 difference from the 75K up to 80K, and a $10,000 difference from the 150K up to 160K. So they're cutting out quite a few here. Now, the reason behind this is data is showing that the 100K drop off and 200K drop off will deliver a stimulus check to 93% of all filers. Now, while I see nothing wrong with that, they also made it a point to not share the data with us of what the new percentages will deliver checks to. So they didn't tell us what this 80K, 160K drop will actually deliver checks to. So, but of course, you know, state and local will stay the same, and everything else inside the bill will stay the same. They didn't make any adjustments on that side, and this is again to prevent dropping that $100. Now, I don't know what this means for people out there who are filing unemployment. We're really expecting to see that stimulus check if they're between the 80K, 100K. You know, a lot of people right now have been bouncing from job to job, found themselves in reduced wages, earning less money, and in some cases not even being able to collect unemployment. And so, yeah, there's still gonna be people out there suffering. I mean, you can't just expect them to go out and change, you know, their car payments, their mortgage payments, everything overnight to basically, you know, adjust to this pandemic. So that's neither here nor there. Okay, but good news, if you're a PPP applicant, you're running a small business, you can now comfortably reduce your burden on taxes to below 80K and still go out there and file for PPP rounds 1 and rounds 2 now off of your gross income and no longer off of your net income. Let's get straight into these details here for you. Okay, everybody, remember the day March 3rd when the SBA decided to make this process for us much more complicated than it had to be, okay? March 3rd is the day that the new applications for PPP have arrived, okay? They've gone and revised the previous first draw and dropped on us a new application. Okay, so we're going to talk the details of what that means, because now it's going to come down to where you go to apply for the loan to know if you're getting the full gross benefits of this versus the net benefits of this. Okay, and we're going to talk about this all here in detail. Okay, so if this wasn't complicated enough, all right, the whole program wasn't complicated enough. The SBA has gone and dropped on us 2 forms. I mean, they do the same thing, but they do very different things. Okay, it's basically, your first form is for PPP if you're filing using your net income. And the second form is PPP if you're using your gross income. I know, those two can, the one over here can deliver you $1,000 if you're, let's say, an Uber driver or a Lyft driver and you've minimized your tax burden with your mileage. This net amount over here can give you a $1,000 loan, versus this one over here that could give you a freaking $20,000 loan, right? So different, okay? So you got to be very careful when you're out there with your lender, finding out if you're using gross income or net income, and go in ready, go in prepared with, if you're a Schedule C filer, go in prepared to be looking for a lender that will be filing gross right now, okay? Big important message there. It is a big difference, so pay close attention to that, okay? Because it is time to get our funds. It's time to get back to a state of normal. And it's time to start investing again. Right now in the description, you could check out Webull and M1 Finance. Webull wants to give you 2 free stocks valued up to about $1,600 after you deposit $100 into the platform. And M1 Finance wants to give you a $30 bonus after signing up and sending $100 into the platform. You can take the $130 and invest it any which way you want. I actually use both of these platforms each and every day. I had some fun the other day because I spun this wheel right here. Just follow along here for a second. I spun the wheel here. And I won free stocks, right? After you invite your friends to join the platform, you get the opportunity to win stocks, just like you see here. And about earlier this week, I think it was over the weekend actually, I won a $262 Facebook stock here. So sometimes you pay out pretty good. Other days you maybe get between $10 and $20 worth of free stocks. But still, you're building your portfolio and you're heading towards a new future. And that is what Webull is trying to promote. So check them out in the description here. You can follow me on Instagram by finding me in the description. Do not follow anybody else on this channel asking you to talk to them on Instagram. They are total fraud and scammers. That's all they are. They want to take your money, okay? So be very cautious of these people. I'm disappointed, to say the least, with YouTube for not doing a better job at blocking this. They've even gone and cloned my face and put a bogus number in there trying to get people to call some random number. Okay, so be aware of that. I thank you all again, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.